What is good, guys? Today we have probably the most exciting video to date on this channel. As you can see, with the BT50 and the trailer on the back. Yes, the Falcon is on the trailer, but don't worry, that will be in a separate video. But we are heading down to Showtime Customs Fabrication in Heathcote, Victoria to go and finally pick up my VY Clubsport from getting its tubs and 9-inch conversion and a few other little cheeky things that I haven't really put on the internet or told anyone about. But yeah, we're gonna get in the BT50 with Josh Lever and Adam Stacey and head down to Heathcote. So I guess we will see you down at Showtime Customs Fabrication.
Whoa, what is going on, you?
So we made it back from Melbourne in one piece and the car is here. It is looking absolutely mwah. And I'm about to show you guys first. We're going to run a little B-roll sequence of the car and what was done underneath. And then we're going to go through everything that Showtime Custom Fabrications did to the Clubsport. Now, if that didn't get you guys going, I honestly do not know what will. But anyway, let's get on to what exactly was done to the car and run you through it all. So starting off with the main job that was done on this car was a Showtime Custom Fabrications Pro Street 9-inch kit. This is a Gen 3 kit, which is their new kit. There's a few little changes to their other ones, but let's touch over everything that was pretty much done. Now, a little disclaimer here, guys. Remember, this is a street car. It is not a full drag car. If I was going to go full drag car, I wouldn't care about the back seats. I would have gone full tubs and fit a 325 under there, no issues. But this car will be getting driven, has back seats in it. It's going to be driving around on the street. It's going to have retro plates on it soon. It's going to be engineered, everything like that. So we went with the split tubs. I can always change it down the track. It's never too late to go full tubs. It's literally not a hard job from now. And all it's going to do is give me more room. 275s fit in there perfect. Probably go 285 or a 295 if I really wanted to. Yes, it will be a tight squeeze, but if we have to go that route down the track, then I guess we'll be changing that. So as you can see, there is a lot of craftsmanship and hours that goes into this whole rear end, let alone this diff housing itself, because it is absolutely amazing. As you can see, the welds are top notch. We went with the clear on the diff housing because why wouldn't you? I didn't want to degrade his work by putting any sort of color over it because it looks absolutely amazing. So anyway, left it at that, and everything else is cleared on it too, so it does look the part. Now, Showtime makes all the bracketry and everything themselves. It is all in-house. The only thing that isn't in-house is the diff center and pretty much the Viking coilovers. So as you can see here, we've got some Viking coilovers in it, fair bit of adjustment there. And really on the housing itself, there is heaps of adjustment there too, to go lower, higher, longer shock travel, shorter shock travel, everything like that. And that's pretty much the beauty of a 4-link 9-inch setup. You can chop and change everything and pretty much make it work to how you want it to. It isn't just coilover adjustment. There is plenty of adjustments in every single arm here. So there is no shortage of changing things to the setup that you want to change it to, and playing around with things to get your car pretty much completely dialed in. We've got an SCW diff with 3:5 ratios Obviously you got the strange yoke on there and everything like that, and it is one beefy unit. We will not be breaking diffs or breaking CVs like you would with an IRS car, but hopefully you can handle the abuse that's going to get thrown at it. Got some 35 spline axles in there too, so that is pretty good. We can go 40 spline down the track just depending on how far we want to go in the future, but like I said, everything can be changed. It's not too late. Yes, it's another expense, but if we go down that route, that option is still available. I still do have the factory brakes. Now this is something I wanted to retain. He offers a Willwood kit as well, but I wanted to keep these for engineering purposes because I do have the AP Racing front brakes as well, and these butted with these were mint with the old setup anyway, and for engineering purposes this does not need to be brake tested because it is a factory brake. And we've also got some braided lines there, and he retained the factory little tabs there for the brakes, so that's a cool little thing as well as the little tow hooks here that I use to strap the car down. It's not that this car looks factory or anything like that anymore, but you know, people kind of geek out on little factory things like that, and he thought it was cool, so that's how he did it. Instead of running it up to the top and T-piecing it off like you normally would, that is a cool little addition, I think, and a nice little personal touch to this whole rear end. He has also put a nice finish coating on this car, and it come up absolutely immaculate. I'm actually going to be following through with the rest of the car down here because, as you can see, there's a line there and we go green and ugly, but I've got to tape up the whole front end, tape up the painted engine bay, take the skirts off and everything, and we'll be doing the rest of the car underneath. So it all looks nice and clean, all nice and matching and everything like that. Right before I do the brake lines actually, so that will be the next thing in the next video. I'll be getting onto that, painting it all up, masking it all up, everything like that, and we can move on to the next step, which is running the brake lines and the ABS pump. Now moving back, there is a big brace here in the way, but we will get to that in a second. This is my half sunken 95 litre Aeroflow fuel cell, and it is a great idea doing this. Shout out to Josh and Nick for conning me into doing it, because I feel like putting the factory tank here would really take away from this rear end here. And with my idea of this brace here that we'll get to in a second, it wouldn't have worked anyway, so I'm kind of glad, but that is there. He made the floor flat because, as stated in previous videos, or if you don't know, the wheel well comes down to about here because it does have the spare tyre that fits in there, so it's gone a completely flat floor with bracing for the half sunk fuel cell. Plenty of room now, heaps of real estate here. I can always put tabs off and put coolers, fans, anything like that, so there's a ton of room here. Extra real estate, don't have to have messy stuff all in the boot and stacked up. That's a cool little addition that we got there, and I'm kind of glad that I did go with that too. Now moving on to this brace here, as you can see, it's nice and juicy and beefy. Now one of the main points with this is I wanted a jacking point, so that just sits in line with the bar, because I don't want to be jacking off this fresh diff, because with anything, if you start chipping the clear, it's just going to start chipping away. So I wanted a nice little jacking point. He's put it in the extra bracing, so it's nice and strong. And the fact that the Rio bars on these are nice and tiny anyway, so this is going to add a lot of strength. But the main thing, as you can see, we've got a little grub screw and a little fitting screw there, because if you move back, as you would have seen in the video, we do have a parachute mount, and the parachute, of course. So we've got a Simpson parachute there that's rated 200 mile per hour, which it will need. And we've got the nice little bar here. Now he put it through there. I did want to go under the bar, but it's a little bit too hard, so we went through there. This bar is getting taken completely off anyway. I've got a bar that has no holes in it and it's pretty much immaculate, so when the respray comes in the next few months, we will do the exact same thing here, and we'll make a nice little plug there, so when the chute's off, because I can't run it on the street because it actually blocks the number plates, I'll get it painted up and we'll shove it in there when the chute isn't on itself, so it still looks nice and clean and kind of blends in that little bit. While we're up here underneath, he also did do some custom front lower control arms. As you can see there, we've got a little bit of adjustment, and this really brought the bottom of the wheel in, because this thing was cambered as all hell, and now it sits inside of the guard pretty much, and there is not much camber. That's on full droop, so when it's up and it's tucked up, there is not a whole lot more camber than what this is. Yes, it still needs to be adjusted. Yes, it still needs to be wheel lined, but I am super stoked with that, super wrapped with that, and we're going to get that nice, tough Pro Street look. To complement the job off, we've got my big 15 by 10s with a 4.5 inch backspace billet specialties on here with a 275/60 PSR radial on there, and it looks absolutely gangster. There's plenty of room from this side here. I may even put my little 3mm spacers on there just to push it out a little bit so it's not so close on the inside, and just to give it that little bit more tougher stance, because you know it looks a little bit tucked away. It'll pull it out. I reckon it'll look 10 times better. I'm absolutely wrapped with that. The wheels are honestly the cherry on top with this car. If I didn't go with these, it wouldn't be the spec kind of build that I have built it to, in my opinion. Coming to the boot, firstly, finally put a sticker on this car. I've never had my own sticker on this car, anything like that. I'm not a sticker kind of person in general. Got to rep the GB. If you want to cop one as well, link is in my Instagram bio for my cartel page, which I do sell these. So, you know, get yourself a fresh GAMBIN.BUILDS sticker. This is a 2.0 logo, and it is looking absolutely gangster. Anyway, the fuel cell, 95 litre, like I stated before. Got the flat floor on either side. There's a nice little bracketry that he got made up on the back here for the fuel cell as well, and that looks absolutely amazing. He has done a killer job with that. Almost looks like it would be factory. That's how clean that is. So back here, as you can see, this little brace that comes up, this is for the anti-roll bar. Now, he didn't have the material in stock for that, so he's getting that in. He's going to send it up, and then I will be installing that. That is quite literally for racing only, because an anti-roll bar on the street, a little bit, how's your dad when you're driving a car with an anti-roll bar in? So we're going to leave that, but obviously we'll put it in and we'll do another video and I'll explain that a little bit better. I might even do that on my TikTok, because I'm going to try with TikTok just do more educational things and leave this to the bigger videos and stuff like that. Moving on into the car, as you can see, he has done a little bit of modifying. This is included in the kit as well. You know, you got to do stuff to make the tail shaft work and the rear end work and everything like that. So it's nice and done there. Literally looks factory. You put anything over it, you wouldn't even know. Honestly, you wouldn't. So he's done a really killer job. Really good work. Cannot fault it. I'm super wrapped with it, super stoked. Keen to get the interior back in and having it all look nice and fresh again, but, you know, we can't rush too much because there is a long list of things to do. Again, for the 1000th time, and I'll do it another 1,000 times, huge shout out to Showtime Customs Fabrication for knocking this car out of the park. I had a lot of people doubting them. You know, they said 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years to get it done. And they did it in just 7 weeks, and it is absolutely mint. There is not one fault under there. I'm super wrapped with it, super stoked. Customer service was absolutely awesome. The pricing was absolutely awesome as well. And mind you guys, this is not a sponsored video. They did not give me any sort of discount or anything like that. The price I paid will be the exact same price that you pay when you walk in that door, and you will be just as satisfied as I am. You got to give credit where credit is due, and you know, I honestly would not want to give my money to anybody more deserving. Absolutely awesome bloke who owns Showtime. And absolutely awesome business, and the way they run it, phenomenal. And that's how everybody should run their shit. But, you know, can't have it all, and that's what separates them from the rest, and that's what separates them from getting business and getting shit done and other people. So thank you guys again so much. And thank you guys for watching this video, because I think we're going to call it here. Might be a very long one. I'm not 110% sure. I'd push it outside, but it's pissing down. And it's a little hard to push this car in and out with, yeah, just yourself. But anyway, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, put post notifications on, because we are just going to get underway with this big build here, and there's plenty of content coming. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, we will catch you in the next one.